know what I'm saying? Because when I was over there at Death Row, it wasn't cool to be over there.
Yeah, you were there in the thick of shit. Tell me about that.
I went there in the thick of shit.
How did that come about?
Well, I made a call because I seen that I wasn't really doing good over here with these guys. I knew it was like time to go. And I didn't want to fight my brothers. I just wanted them to clear, so let me go over here. They was yelling, fuck you, nigga, get your ass over there. And I took my ass over to the West Coast for a little while. But, it was a good thing, like something that we all needed, you know what I'm saying? Because I took Sam Sneed over there.
Yeah.
He was doing, we put black exploitation in perspective over there. I mean, that's what we do. We master that. Yeah. We mastered that. We grew up in that era, so and Dre know that shit too. Dre been playing funk music his whole life. Yeah. So we throw Isaac K sample on, niggas know what it is, but you know what I'm saying. Like I was saying, that's the shit that made the East Coast famous. Zap and all that shit made the West Coast famous.
Yeah.
So we was ahead of that black exploitation movement, Afro, you know what I'm saying? We was ahead of that shit. So, we knew to get Pam Grier for the video. We knew to do the fucking Isaac K's and the Curtis Mayfield in them records. You know what I'm saying? We built the landscape for Silky Slim and them to do what they do with that shit. You know what I'm saying? Because we was those niggas that, that was our type of shit. That's all we knew.
How'd you link up with Suge?
I didn't link up with him. I linked up with Dre. I got the only thing with that was him having a partner. You're with him by default. But I never was with, Suge. I was with Dre.
Gotcha.
And when it got heavy for Dre, it was a bad situation for everybody because everybody was waiting for Dre to pull it off. And I didn't think Suge knew. I didn't think he was that slow to the point where he was thinking he could take a person's label, a person that built it, and didn't think he was going to be able to do it again.
Yeah.
I knew he was going to be able to do it again, you know what I'm saying? And I'm saying to myself, did he really think he couldn't do it? What shocked me. That he was boasting, I took the whole, I'm saying to myself, did you realize this guy he's sonically correct, the way and I guess he didn't understand that.
So you were there were you there after Dre left?
No, I left after Dre. In fact, I was the last one. Probably, when Dre left, I left first. Right after Dre left, I left.
Okay, gotcha.
And then Sam Sneed got in his shit over there with them because Sam Sneed was still there.
Yeah, I heard about that.
I had left already. Yeah, I had left already. But they only did that because Sam Sneed was a great student of Dr. Dre, and he knew shit.
When they beat him up in the studio, apparently.
Yeah, right? they wouldn't have did that shit. You know what I'm saying? They wouldn't have did that shit on other terms, but, they're thinking that this is how they do their thing, you know what I'm saying? And it didn't work. Sam Sneed's still doing good, you know what I'm saying? He still got some couple of things that he's working on. He still works with Dr. Dre. He got a great relationship with Dre. So Sam ain't lose nothing.
Yeah.
He just low key, you know what I'm saying?
How was it for you? I mean, you were being from the East Coast and fucking with the West Coast. I mean, I guess the best analogy is like a blood, going over to the Crips during a big gang war, because it was going down during this stupid, what the media called East versus West Coast war. I mean, how did that come about, and what did your boys on the East think about that? Was this during the time of the Hit Squad, Def Squad thing?
Well, I brought my boys from the city. They came with me. They was the Dump Boy Sight boys. You know what I'm saying? A-Dubs, Thriller. You know what I'm saying? Nitty. You know what I'm saying? We was good. Yeah, we had our little, Dump Boy Sight boys. We was up in there. You know what I'm saying? BK, you know what I'm saying? We had our own energy, but like I said, they was all carrying, and I had brass knuckles, so we was good, man. We ain't had no issue. You know what I'm saying? I went to work. I went to work to make the album, and then I go home. Like I didn't too mix with them. Like go to the parties with them, because I know what could go down. I'm from the street. I know what could happen. So I kept it 8 hours, man. You know what I'm saying? I was real professional, and I kept it 8 hours, man. And I watched them move, and they was moving the way they was moving. That's how they move.
Yeah.
Well, real G's don't get caught up in that shit because you know what not to do and what to do. You know where you at.
Yeah, you smart man. Exactly. Thank you very much.
Exactly. I'm just saying, I wasn't trying to be something I'm not, and I wasn't putting no weight on it, but I wasn't going to put myself in a situation where I have to do something.
Yeah, I feel you.
You know what I'm saying? Take my ass to the studio, do some music, and go home.
Yeah.
And I had my little apartment in Woodland Hills, and I had my house up in Monticello, New York, so I was good. I'd fly home on the weekend, and I'd work, do my thing.
There it is.
And Suge paid for all of that shit.
Oh, nice. Really?
Yeah, he paid for that house and all that shit, so I wasn't tripping.
Nice.
He always tell me, don't tell them niggas what you got. He said, don't tell them niggas what I gave you.
He was telling everybody that, huh?
Yeah, that was his game.
Yeah, I heard that's kind of how he controlled certain people on that label. But yeah, I'm glad you got something out of it.